My name is Connor Neal. I've been with Run For Your Life Productions since the very beginning. My brother and I both were introduced to comic books by our dad at a very young age. Early on, my brother and I used to actually draw our own comic books. A few years later, we asked our dad if we could use the home movie camera. He said yeah, so we started doing a superhero movie called The Supinator. It was the first thing we ever did. The only editing capability we had was pressing and stopping record. So we had to kind of like press record, run over, do the action scene, and then run back and try and press record so fast enough that you couldn't tell. It didn't work. Then we found out our dad had a tripod. I didn't lock one of the legs. The camera just kind of went broke. But that very next Christmas, my parents got me this handheld camera. We had done a lot of movies with the VHS camera, but we just started doing way more with this one. Every time somebody came over, we were making a video. Complete nonsense. You don't even know what's going on 90% of the time. But then we got a computer and we found out, wait a minute, you can actually like cut out the parts at the beginning and the end, but we were using Windows Movie Maker, which only allowed for the video audio and one additional audio track. So it was either gunshots or music. And almost always we went with gunshots. So in high school, we found out that you could like upload videos to YouTube and have other people see them. So it wasn't just like us and whoever had been in the videos. Before we had been doing a lot of superhero stuff. Now we were just doing goofy videos that were like skits and stuff. One of those skits, this one called Marbles, we just kind of started building a story around that, and then it became this whole thing where it was like a full season of episodes and like everybody we knew was in it. I started getting more serious about wanting to get into filmmaking, and so I did a couple of years at community college, and then I found a college. They had a very good film program. I went there. I did a lot of videos for school, and some of those turned out really good, but then the major thing that we worked on was this video torquing. Almost everybody who's been involved in Run For Your Life Productions was involved somehow in that. It was a massive project. The original cut was like an hour and a half long. We shot an entire summer, just almost every single weekend we were just filming, and then I was editing for an entire semester of school. There's also a second one in the works, so if you like the first one, be ready. After I graduated from college, I started, actually getting some equipment, and then we started doing this series called the R Donkey series, and that was the thing about Rudy Donkey. We learned so much, and now we're working on this film called All Bleed, which eventually will be a feature-length film, and that kind of takes us to the present. We're doing these interviews as kind of a way to be like, these are the people who are involved in Run For Your Life Productions, and we want to make these films. We have a lot of ideas we want to do, and we want to get them done. Run For Your Life Productions to me it's my childhood. Run For Your Life Productions is my present, and Run For Your Life Productions is going to be my future as far as what I want to do. Well, it wouldn't be anything without all of the people who have helped it get to this point. This is my friends who have just been like, you know what, I'll take an entire Saturday, I'll go out in 90-degree weather and wear this face paint just because I want to see Run For Your Life Productions get somewhere. Really what I like about Run For Your Life Productions is the relationship aspect. I don't ever want to get to the point where the reason I'm working with someone is because I think they can further my career. If I'm working with someone, I want it to be because I enjoy working with that person and I'd like to continue working with that person. Where I think Run For Your Life Productions is going in the future, my goal for it is that it's going to be a full-scale production studio in the Midwest, in Iowa. And whether or not that happens, we are still gonna make these films because there are a lot of great ideas that I and others want to make. We're hoping to do some like Kickstarters or something along those lines with some of the short films we're gonna be making, because pretty much from here on out, most of the things that we make we're gonna want to make into full-length features. I've always been super interested in stop motion. Stop motion, I think, is probably the coolest form of filmmaking. If I got to do things exactly the way I wanted, everything we do would be stop motion.